My next book is titled Started from Zero. It's all about how to build a six-figure brand from nothing. And there's a lot of things that I learned along the way, but one of which that saved my business or even helped it succeed was the simplicity and the little steps that I put in my website. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 things that helped me become successful with my brand, and it all goes back to the website. A lot of people think you only need a ClickFunnels website nowadays. It's not true. Check this video out. I'm going to show you a couple things that helped me, and hopefully they help you. You're trying to grow your brand, but where do you start? Maybe you've been told your website is not as important as it once was. That's absolutely false. A website changed my business. It got people to see where I came from, what I've done, who I've worked with. It's basically your resume. There's 3 things that I've done that really worked well, and it got me on the map. Number 1, the most important thing that you have to do is put the problem that you solve at the very top. Okay? Don't try to get too cute and clever, creative. It's very, very basic. You want to put the words of what you do and how you do it. For example, my website is called DreamStartersUniversity.com. When you go to it, and it's not just them typing it in or you typing it in. There are many ways that I reach out and interact with people and get them to my website. So it's not just about attraction marketing with your website. It's about giving them the click through, link, so they can go right to your website and see what it is. And then they're able to define who you are because it's so clearly labeled at the very top. The problem that we solve is we help entrepreneurs write books and then we help them get attention. You don't want to say that we're going to change the world or we're going to do this or make you millions of dollars, whatever. You want to put the very clear, very simple, very, easily understood phrase of what you do at the very top. If you try to be too creative and clever, people are going to look into that and say, oh, this doesn't make too much sense to me. I'm going to forget this person, forget this business, and move on. Clear, simple, like a punch to the face of exactly what you do. When I put that at the very top, people got it. People understood what I could do for them. People understood that we are a real deal business, that we can solve problems. Now, a business does not exist unless you can solve people's problems. And if you can put the actual pain that you take away from people at the very top so they don't have to think, human beings are always looking for the easiest answer. It's just in our DNA. We always want the easy answer. Even whenever it comes to if something happens to a person, oh, it's because of this. Or medically, if something happens, oh, it's because of that. You always want to assume or put things together very easily. You don't want to think too much. And the last thing you want to do is have your potential clients think too much or have an imagination of what you do. You want to put out there exactly what you do so they don't have to think and they just know. So make sure you know what problem you solve and make sure they do too. At the very top, first thing that they ever see. The second thing is interaction. Okay? I know with a website, you put it up with SEO and with all this, with blogs, and we'll get to that later. But what you want to do is have a way to keep getting people from social media back to your website, so they can see who you are, what you've done, the blogs, the material that you have out there, the content you've done. Social media is great for one thing. It's a way to pull people back. And so with Instagram, make sure you have an automated message that shows people who you are, what you've done, and then maybe pull them back to your website. All right? So the whole thing is to get them there. You don't want to just rely on Google. You want Facebook ads. You don't want... Quit spending money on that bullshit, especially in the beginning. Make sure you interact with people on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat even, or if you're just texting people, phone calls. Somehow get them to link to your website. Don't ever forget that it's the power of pulling them back in. You are giving people stuff, but you're pulling them back into your website. When I started to do that, I realized that all I needed to do was hit X amount of people to talk to explain what we did, to sit down in meetings, and I would interact with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people through Facebook groups. And it became a very manual task, but I kept giving my information to them. What they started doing wasn't everyone, but they started going back to my website and having the research. Oh, is this guy a scam or not? So them going through the website that I gave them, remember, it's me giving it to them. It's not me waiting on Google for it to crawl and to pop up on the first 2 pages. It's a lot of giving. I am giving this link out, constantly giving it out. Pulling them back, some people go through it, and then they're able to see the clients I've worked with. But by doing that now, and this is the part 2 of this, is you have a chatbot on your website. Anybody have any questions, they interact right away. So you get them back to your website and you make sure you're able to interact with them somehow. A chatbot really is successful if you do it the right way. And there's one that's out there that I recommend. It's called TIDIO. Great one. You can link right up to your Wix website. If you're an entrepreneur trying to grow your service, the last thing you want to do is keep relying on a graphic designer and a website developer to be tinkering with all this. You could do all of this yourself through Wix. Now, Wix is not the best for search engine optimization. I understand that. People out there are going to say, oh, WordPress is the best. Yeah, the people who say WordPress is the best are web developers. Yeah, it's probably a better site for someone who has the money to pay a web developer and doesn't rely on timing, and you could give someone information and they can get it done within a month. This is for the entrepreneurs out there with a team of less than maybe 5 or 7 or even 10 people. When you have a WordPress website, you could probably get your SEO up, but this is through Wix and through chatbots and through the way it's all set up. You could do all this on your own very easily. Get people back to your website, and then you're able to get them stuff. And that leads me to the third thing that changed my business. I help entrepreneurs write books. Yes, it makes a lot of sense. This is what I do. These are my 2 books. The third one's coming out a couple months here. What you want to do is give something away for free. I am telling you, the website was my way of breaking out because of the simplicity of explaining who I was. The manual task of bringing people back, but giving them something while they're there. I have a free book on my website. It just says free book. And you can either set it up as a separate website or, a part of your main website. But by having this third piece that you give something away for free, that you're not giving anything that costs money or time, you're giving something. What you're doing there is you're getting a potential lead, their email, and they're getting something of value, which could be your book, a PDF version of your book, an ebook version, all right? What that does is the speed of them getting to know you. It's not just about the website anymore. It's about the book that they get, but they went to your website to get it. Bounce rates are extremely high now. People are spending most of their time on Facebook and Instagram, so you want to play towards that crowd. Remember, there's still the YouTube and there's still Google, and they still pretty much control this world. But as a solo entrepreneur of a team of 5 or 7, you are really going to have to start putting stuff out there constantly to do all this. And you're going to spend a lot of money to really rank well. But you want to play towards the Facebook and Instagram crowd by being in charge of your leads. If you are in charge of manually going after X amount of people or doing things that interact with people, which is what people crave, interaction, you're able to get them back to your website and give them something. When you give something, that's a psychological factor. It happens in people's minds that say, this person gave me something with nothing in return, all right? I just gave an email, it doesn't cost me anything, and I can always unsubscribe if they keep sending me stuff. But what that does is it puts a win in your column. You've given something before you asked for a sale. Whether it's a webinar, a seminar, apparel, a consulting fee, a service that you offer, a product that you offer, you're giving them something with no strings attached. Once you have that potential lead, that email, you are able to send them updates, information, give them more value. If you are able to give enough value, there's another thing in there, you have like a win column where you just keep checking off wins. And if you give enough value, people will start to say, this person's committed enough, they've given me enough value, I'm willing to give my money and give them a shot. Never heard of them before, meeting them on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, whatever, but now I'm gonna give them the shot because they've given me so much value. It all began with you manually going back, pulling your website, them seeing the problem that you solve, and then them giving you their email so you can get their email, they can get your book, and you can start to build a relationship. If you do these 3 things over and over and over and over, you're gonna build enough brand ambassadors. Make sure you give before you ask, especially as an entrepreneur who's growing their business or starting their business. You really have to win over a crowd. If you win over a crowd enough, or as many times as you need to, they're gonna spread your name without you even trying to do stuff. You are the driver whenever you have this set up. You don't have to rely on spending tons of money on advertising. You could put your name out there as much as possible on social media, get them to your website, and start generating many, many, many relationships. And as you know, relationships is the name of the game. You do these 3 things, very simple. You're able to stay in touch with them. And whether they become a client now, next week, 2 months, a year from now, clients have joined my subscribe list or got my free book, and then 2 years later, year and a half later, they join my services. But they might have referred me to other people in the meantime. You have to start it somewhere. Our company's called DreamStarters, and it started from zero, as you see, is our personal branding, advisement, consulting agency. But starting, you have to start. You have to get stuff in your, you have to get in your email list built up. You have to get people talking about you. Do these 3 simple things, and I promise you're going to see a lot of results. Whether it's now, next month, or a year from now, you'll thank me then. Any other questions, guys? I will be reviewing websites. Hopefully, you might be able to start to see them on YouTube. Check them out either now or later. I'll be reviewing websites and telling you what I think you should do and what I think you're doing really well. Stay tuned, guys, and I'll see you out there.